What up and welcome to Rama Screen YouTube channel, and here's my review of Netflix's new live action series, Avatar: The Last Airbender. Let's rock this. Man, oh man, oh man, when Netflix granted me the advanced screeners last week, I was geeking out, jumping up and down, fangirling like it was Christmas in February. So, you've probably already seen my initial social media reaction, but here is my full review. And by that, I mean totally full. Here are my thoughts about the entire 8 episodes, not just the first one. And because the review embargo lives on the same exact night as the show's premiere, needless to say, this video contains spoilers. Heads up, this video review has some major spoilers. Okay, let me double down on what I previously said. Netflix Avatar: The Last Airbender is spectacular. This live-action version has done the old animated show, of which I was a fan, incredible justice. The casts are terrific, the visuals are remarkable, and Gordon Cormier, who plays Aang, is a revelation. Look, I'm gonna be honest, it has been a while since the last time I watched the old show. Years even. I know, it is currently available on Netflix at the moment, but I did not revisit that show prior to screening this new take. So I'm not gonna make this review be some kind of a play-by-play comparison. But I will address some of the concerns that the fans might have and why you should totally give this new show a chance despite those concerns. But speaking personally, I love the fact that this one just reignites my fandom of this franchise. Although this show is designed to be enjoyed by anybody of any age, it's not necessarily adult-centric, and it's not exclusively just for children audiences only, but the kid in me is definitely happy with how it all turned out. Stepping into that world again where now everything looks more palpable and immersive is just absolutely mind-blowing. Showrun and executive produced by Albert Kim, Avatar: The Last Airbender is a live-action reimagining of the award-winning and beloved Nickelodeon animated series. Water, earth, fire, air, the 4 nations once lived in harmony, with the Avatar, master of all 4 elements, keeping peace between them. But everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked and wiped out the Air Nomads, the first step taken by the Firebenders towards conquering the world. With the current incarnation of the Avatar yet to emerge, the world has lost hope. But like a light in the darkness, hope springs forth when Aang, a young air nomad and the last of his kind, reawakens to take his rightful place as the next Avatar. Alongside his newfound friends, Sokka and Katara, siblings and members of the Southern Water Tribe, Aang embarks on a fantastical action-packed quest to save the world and fight back against the fearsome onslaught of Fire Lord Ozai. But with a driven Crown Prince Zuko determined to capture them, it won't be an easy task. They'll need the help of the many allies and colorful characters they meet along the way. Starring Gordon Cormier, Kia Wentio, Ian Ousley, Dallas Liu, Ken Leung, with Paul Sun-Hyung Lee and Daniel Day Kim. Okay, so one of the concerns was, oh my god, the original creators left the project and got replaced over creative differences. That's a red flag. Yeah, true. Usually that does give you pause, but I'm telling you, Albert Kim and his team did not ruin this adaptation at all. In fact, they went out of their way to make sure that every costume, every set design, every action sequence stems their inspiration from the old show. And the aspects that kinda deviate away just a little bit, including the opening scene, totally helps with the setup and the build-up in a way that makes sense. And every effort to push the edge, or to push the boundaries if you will, is only meant to emphasize the Fire Nation's brutality and ruthlessness, and to remind the characters and us, the audiences, that the stakes are freaking high. Yes, it's such a relief to find out that this show is so much better than that M. Night Shyamalan crapola more than a decade ago. Boy, did that one leave a bad aftertaste. Rest assured, this new Netflix live action show doesn't make the same mistake. The casts are fantastic. It's this combination of Asian American actors with indigenous actors, and they all fit their respective roles perfectly. I mentioned Gordon Cormier earlier. I mean, that kid is going places. There's a certain fluidity and playfulness and fierceness about his performance. And of course, his co-stars are just as wonderful. Kia Wentio as Katara is sublime and powerful. Dallas Liu as Prince Zuko is superbly outstanding. Paul Lee as Uncle Iroh, I mean, that casting is like Kismet or Destiny. Who else could have played that role? That man practically jumped out of the animation and into our world. And Ian Owsley takes the character of Sokka and completely runs with it. Now, speaking of Sokka, I know a lot of you were angry about Sokka on this show being, what's the word I'm looking for? Well, they basically cut out his sexism stuff. And you guys were like, how dare you? That was part of his character arc. And I get it. Your argument is valid. But guys, trust me, toning down that sexist comedic part of Sokka is actually a decision that pays off, and it does not minimize his contributions to the journey at all. You see, what we get with this Sokka is the kind of Sokka whose comic relief is still funny, but it's not always constantly in your face with his comments. The little lines here and there marvelously delivered by Ian is meant to break the tension and to uplift the group's spirit. And don't worry, Sokka's character arc is just fine. In fact, by the end of episode 8, you will come to admire this version of Sokka, who's more involved and more attentive and more heroic, and Ian knocks it out of the park with this role. Man, I cannot stress enough how visually stunning this show is. The way it recreates the cities, for example, or the way the fight choreographies are executed, which impressively highlight their powers. All of it is so elegant and exciting and captivating. Everything about this show screams out epic and cool and awesome. It dials up the wow factor to 11 and almost never brings it down. Hell, even the main bad guy, Fire Lord Ozai, is badass. Daniel Day Kim has turned that character into the villain that we can love to hate. And he's kinda hot. Pun intended. My favorite episode would have to be the one where Aang, Katara, and Sokka encounter the spirits in the spirit world, and they are confronted with their truth. I mean, I've always been a fan of stories with dreamscapes and hallucinations, and this particular episode is just so beautifully and exquisitely done. And here's another thing also. Every episode on this show has that moment that pulls at your heartstrings without being too manufactured about it, because it's just a natural progression of the story, and you really feel for their sacrifices and their personal growth. And finally, I know some of you are like, but Rama, the old animated show had 3 books, and each book had lots and lots of episodes. And you're right, but just think of how wildly expensive or wildly costly it must be just to pull off one live action episode with so many visual effects shots rendered. And so what I'm getting at is, the showrunner and his team did a smart move by streamlining the story and making the narrative of the journey significantly more focused. And the characters don't look like a bunch of cosplayers running around. It's clear from every frame that they really invested their heart out into this, and the result is brilliant. So yeah, overall I give Netflix live action Avatar: The Last Airbender the rating of 4.5 out of 5. So, is this version better than the animated show, or is it the other way around? I'd rather not come to that type of conclusion. Let's just put it this way. This is a great reimagining. You can love the old show and this new show equally. Both have their astonishing qualities that will further deepen your fandom. So that's it. That's my review of Avatar: The Last Airbender. Smash that like button, hit that notification bell, share this video with everyone you know, share your thoughts in the comment section below, and as always, subscribe. Let's rock this.